Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Uh, the disease which I'm going to discuss, which is next, is Newcastle disease. It's also the disease of poultry, also known as the avian pneumoencephalitis, Ranicate disease, very famous, avian pest, pseudofowl pest, exotic Newcastle disease. These all are, different names of this disease. So today we will be discussing the different aspects of this disease, the organism, economic impact, epidemiology, transmission, clinical signs, diagnosis and treatment, how we can prevent, and which actions we need to take. Starting from the organism, Newcastle disease, actually it's a viral infection, Newcastle disease, antivirus. So this virus belongs to family Paramyxoviridae, and the genus is Ebola virus. There are almost 9 serotypes present, APMV1 to APMV9. So ND is APMV1. There are different forms of this disease on the basis of severity or on the basis of presence of this disease. Lentogenic, mesogenic, and gallogenic on the basis of severity, and then comes neurotropic and mesotropic type of ND. Newcastle disease, if we talk about its different forms, uh, virulent Newcastle disease. So it can be mesogenic, velogenic, neurotropic, velogenic, viscerotropic. It's both. The velogenic form is present in both neurotropic and viscerotropic forms. The importance in economic impact is huge. Its control measures are expensive, and its control measures are more costly than any other animal virus. Repeated testing is essential for trade purposes. So, a huge economic impact of this disease under field condition. So, this, endemic virulent Newcastle disease, it affects quality and quantity of dietary protein and has a significant effect on human health. Talking about the epidemiology of this disease, it is endemic in Asia, the Middle East, Africa, Central and South America. Um, Definitely, vaccine use makes assessment of true geographical distribution difficult. So here are two international monitoring agencies regarding ND. One is FAO and the second one is OIE. How much morbidity or mortality this disease causes in poultry? Actually, up to 100% morbid this disease is. And mortality, it causes 90% of mortality in the flock. Um, and its nature varies greatly. It depends on virulence of the strain, avian species, and how much the host is susceptible. The environmental conditions, if these are conducive for the growth of this virus, and vaccination history, and so there are some species which show few or no signs of this disease, but definitely they can act as carrier and they may exist. How this disease is transmitted? So transmission can be direct contact with feces, respiratory secretions, and if we, check the indirect contact can be feed, water, equipment, human clothing, contaminated or incompletely inactivated vaccines. Animal transmission actually this case survives for long periods in the environment. So incubation period of this disease is 2 to 15 days and on an average 5 to 6 days. Migratory birds or feral pigeons, they can cause decontamination or cause this disease. Contamination of poultry feed, uh, can be the source of transmission for this disease. In case of human transmission, it has just mild conjunctivitis. Um, During this condition, it is suggested for the workers to avoid contact with avian species. So therefore, lab workers and vaccination crews are mostly at risk, but no cases from handling or consuming poultry products, specifically with the ND, have been reported till now. And there is no human to human spread. The clinical signs, if we talk about clinical signs, the first one is drop in egg production. Numerous deaths within 24 to 48 hours occur, and death continue for 7 to 10 days. Surviving birds may have neurological or reproductive damage. Edema of head, swelling, especially around eyes. You can see on your right hand, the upper first picture, greenish dark watery diarrhea, which is a significant clinical sign. Respiratory and neurological signs are also present. Signs vary with species and virulence. Uh, Post-mortem lesions, we can see edema of the head, neck, edema or hemorrhages, necrosis or ulceration of lymphoid tissues. Hemorrhagic lesions are present in tracheal mucosa, ventriculus, and intestinal mucosa. So these three hemorrhagic lesions, they confirm that the disease is actually ending. We can differentiate with other diseases, but at this stage it's not necessary. Clinical diagnosis actually sudden decrease in egg production, high morbidity and mortality, characteristic signs and gross lesions would lead to the clinical diagnosis of this disease. How we can do the sampling in order to confirm this disease? The proper authorities, they should be contacted. Sample should only be sent to under secure condition and to authorized labs to prevent the spread of this disease. There are different lab diagnostic techniques for this disease, like virus isolation, RT-PCR, we can do serology. So, uh, how we can prevent and control this disease? First of all, we should be immediately notifying the authorities who are dealing with this, disease. After confirmatory diagnosis, depopulation is essential, and destruction of herd, the flock which has been exposed to this disease, litter or animal products. How we can control and eradicate? First of all, disinfection of the premises is a must. Reintroduction of new birds for 30 days should be delayed. Control of insects and mice and human traffic should also be restricted. Which disinfection we should be using? Household bleach, which is 6% extremes in pH, less than 2 or greater than 12. Heat, boiling for 1 minute, detergents, dryness, ultraviolet light, and sunlight. These can all be used as disinfection for this against this virus. Vaccination is routine worldwide, reduces clinical signs. It doesn't prevent virus replication or shedding, but it's not an alternative to good management, biosecurity, or good hygiene. I think that is it. Thank you very much for this uh, Newcastle disease lecture. It's now it's ending.